not the main parts, but the subsidiary parts. They're making it right now here in Hyderabad. We have visited that place. Number one. Number two, there is this special relationship between US and Israel, the passionate attachment. I'm using this is the title of a book written by an author about US Israel, and the strange bedfellows. They live together, they are not married. That's the thing that he has used, that phrase. Israel sold certain technology to China, which really angered Americans back home. And had it not been to the power of the Jewish lobby, IPEC, America-Israel Public Affairs Committee, things would have gone worse. But thanks to that special relationship US gives to Israel in terms of the Judeo-Christian values, now Trump in place, more so because of the right-wing, inclinations towards Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu and all that. And also one point that I agree with Professor Sriram sir about the personal chemistry that they have brought out to the public notice. When Modi was in Israel, the walk in the beach, as if they are like, pretty close buddies and all that. And then the personal camaraderie, the personal chemistry do matters. And I have seen one more thing, Sriram. Whenever there was a right-wing party in power in Israel, they could make peace with the Palestinians. Interestingly, not the liberal the Labour Party of Israel, but the right-wing party of the Likud. Likud is the right wing. They could make, you name any agreement, major agreements. Probably from the position of strength. When I have a negotiation with you, if I appear to be more, solid, probably the opponent will try to give in. I'm not sure about it, but it happened in Israeli history.
Yeah.
When I had seen the political history of Israel since 1948 till today, whenever there was a right-wing party, they could they could get things on board in constructive manner. Labour Party there is rhetoric more. That's what one observation I had seen in the political history of Israel. And last but not least, coming to this, the Indo-Pacific, where India and China and United States and Australia, Japan, we are all here. And maybe this particular trip had, it had given me an impression. We had given in much to Trump based on what we have got in the Indo-Pacific waters, or at least by perception, at least perception or perceptual, interpretations go by. In order to strengthen our Indo-Pacific or Indian Ocean waters, that's why we had given too much to Trump, even though we could not get what we wanted in H1B or in other issues related to trade, but still we could, whatever we could get from the United States, this trip, Trump visit, the $3 billion, $3 billion, right? $3 billion. Is it really that important in the overall strategic posture when we take China, when China is watching? And final observation is, how do we reduce the value of Pakistan's strategic ability or strategic value? How do we reduce the strategic value right now it is having of Pak region, the mullahs rule, the military rule? Pakistan is, given its size and shape, disproportionately it is having a strategic value to Americans in this part of the world. From an Indian point of view, we all have to think, how do we reduce that strategic value of Pakistan? What should we do to reduce that so that Pakistan, we have to cut the Pakistan to the size? How do we make that cut? Where to intervene? Is Balochistan one way of intervening? I'm just thinking. Or how do we win over the civil society in Pakistan? Should we win over the civil society? Because Pakistan is also, there is a lot of internal frustration within civil society. They are not happy about the military and mullah rule. So where do we actually penetrate? How do we penetrate into Pakistan? And where do we cut that strategic values of Pakistan so that Americans don't need to spend much on show love on that? And otherwise also we will have a more access, Now as Sriram said, Pakistanis will be actually thumping with majority and happily enjoying because paisa fir badega and they'll have more intervention capacity now. Because the moment Americans pull out, Pakistanis are looking for that opportunity to fill in the vacuum. And we share in the POK, I think, 106 kilometers with Afghanistan, the border, land border. The longest we share with is Bangladesh. The second longest is China. The third longest is Pakistan. 3,323 kilometers of land border. And we have this coastal stretch, the Arabian. So, how do we manage Pakistan? Given its size and shape, believe me, Pakistan is extraordinarily doing well. The kind of military assistance or financial aid it is getting from outside, maybe from the Arab world, maybe from United States, all that. When compared to only two countries, sir, Egypt and Israel get a lot of money from United States, military assistance and financial assistance. Now Egypt also has gone down, so Israelis get that lump sum of $4 to $5 billion per annum, military assistance and financial assistance.